Xenoblade Chronicles 3's Ionios is a mix of the worlds from the first two games. So that obviously begs the question, what characters could we see again? While we have a few ideas of who's returning from the trailers, nothing has been explicitly confirmed yet, not even how long after 1 and 2 the sequel takes place, so all bets are off. That being said, a little bit of speculation never hurt anyone, so let's get right into our crackpot theories. Spoilers for Xenoblade 1, 2, and X incoming. From what we can gather from various resources, we know at minimum 10 years have passed since the conflict between Kevis and Agnes began, though probably more. Soldiers on both sides only live for 10 years after they enlist, and one of our protagonists, Mio, is nearing the end of her allotted time. It's far more likely that way more time has passed, however, because it's hard to imagine Shulk, Rex, and everyone else not trying to stop the war in some way. Because of this, I highly doubt we'll see any of our previous protagonists outside of the Land of Challenge in the recently announced expansion pack. With most of the mortal characters out of the way, who's left? Well, we already know Melia and Nia are returning as leaders of their respective nations. On the Xenoblade 1 side, I think we may also run into Riki, Kino, and Nene, given that Nopon can live to be 240. I also suspect we'll see Tyrea and Teelin in some capacity, since as of Future Connected, they haven't succeeded in turning the Telethia back into High Entia. As for Xenoblade 2, we have a ton more options. It's technically possible for any blade in that game to show up in 3, but let's focus on the more standout ones for now. I think it's almost guaranteed that Noah and company will come across Pyra, Mithra, Poppy, and Dromark in some capacity, since the former 3 are immortal and don't need a driver to retain physical form. And in Dromark's case, his driver is still alive. Cosmos is also a given, seeing as she's basically Monolith Soft's mascot. Less likely but still possible are Bridget, Aegeon, Pandoria, and Rock. Their drivers are most likely deceased, but someone else could have awakened them if blades still work the same way as 2. Who knows though, blades could have changed completely and be independent now, seeing as both Senna and Neo appear to be blades. Some fans are theorizing that Ionios is a previous version of Mira from Xenoblade X, and if that is the case, we might see the likes of Elle or Elma in her true form appear in some capacity. If not, I hope at least Elma will show up in the Land of Challenge, or even join the party as a hero. Likewise, it might be a little weird for Rex and Shulk to appear in the same capacity, but it would be pretty cool to have all the protagonists in one place once more. Despite some returning characters and elements, I do think and hope Xenoblade Chronicles 3 will focus on telling its own story in its own world. 1 and 2 had complete stories and character arcs. Aside from a few intentionally dangling threads, and X still needs a conclusion. No, I will not let this go, it still needs a port at the very least. Who do you think will return for Xenoblade 3? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe.